In Waukesha, it's 47 degrees, and right here in Milwaukee, it's 46 degrees. I'm Sean Brenda, Outdoor Living Unlimited. WTMJ News Time is 6:07.
Your need-to-know cultural snapshot of Wisconsin and beyond. This is What's on Tap with Sandy Maxx, sponsored by Visit Milwaukee. A deep dive into all things intriguing, riveting, and entertaining. Now, here's your host, Sandy Maxx.
Thank you for joining me for What's on Tap, sponsored by Visit Milwaukee. I invite you to listen for the next 2 hours for culture, creativity, and the chance to call in to win concert tickets. About 642 lucky WTMJ fans will win free tickets for Friday night to see the Beach Boys at Milwaukee's Riverside Theater. And extra bonus touch tonight, you're going to hear a special story and a greeting by one of the Beach Boys band members, including his favorite song to play on stage every night. So stay tuned for that. We have a lot of guests I'm excited about. If you text the word WATCH, WATCH, text WATCH to the Sighting Unlimited WTMJ talk and text line, 855-616-1620. Text the word WATCH and you'll be able to see all of our guests, starting with the artist in resident at St. Kate, the Arts Hotel. She is my first guest in the WTMJ studio tonight for a spotlight interview. Megan Woodard Johnson, based in West Bend, and she's now downtown inside St. Kate, the Arts Hotel, making art. So she's going to share her experiences there so far and update us on exactly how does she spend her days there in the hotel as people walk by and visit her while she's creating. You'll also get up to date on the latest Summerfest news from WTMJ's Nazir Spencer. He's fresh from this afternoon's Summerfest preview party. What's returning and what's fresh this year, we'll find out. And in the 7 o'clock hour, theater fans will showcase Streisand and Shakespeare. Yes, first with Streisand, Milwaukee-based actor Doug Clemens. He was recently on stage at Next Act Theater in the Renaissance Theater Works production of a very unique one-person show called Buyer and Seller. I saw it. It's a lot of fun. And if you missed that run, the good news is you can see Doug in Buyer and Seller as it moves on stage to Door County in June at Sturgeon Bay's 3rd Avenue Playworks. And Doug's going to be here to give us details on Barbra Streisand's basement, trust me, and some backstage stories. Then at 7:30, we get into Shakespeare. Wisconsin Classic Stage's Josh Poha is going to join me in the WTMJ studio to invite you to a one-weekend-only performance of William Shakespeare's Henry V that you won't want to miss, partially because the Milwaukee production includes a mini Renaissance fair. So I'm looking forward to having those conversations. Please stay with me. And first, though, sad news for those of us who enjoy comedy, but George Wendt passed away, and he had a notable connection to Wisconsin. If you think about George Wendt and all the fun roles, but his signature role, really, Norm in Cheers, something, he was that friend you always kind of wanted to have, like, oh, you knew you'd see him when you went to the bar and you'd have a smarty pants conversation or two with him. He was very relatable. That was a very beloved character. Turns out he was, born in the Chicago area, but one of his Wisconsin connections is he went to high school in Prairie du Chien at Campion High School. So I thought that was an interesting connection. But then the other funny connection that I found in my research is that he started the George Wendt Show. Maybe you haven't seen it because it was only on for about a month in 1995 on CBS. But he played a guy in Madison, Wisconsin, and he and his brother were car mechanics, and his brother was Patrick Finn, who's a Marquette alumnus. So they owned a car garage and hosted a radio call-in show. That was the premise. But again, it only aired for about a month on CBS in 1995. So it's very possible you may have missed it. And it may not necessarily even be worth digging around for online. But what is worth binging on, old episodes of Cheers. And producer Brian Kelly, he found this fun montage of George Wendt in the character of Norm, the beer-loving barfly, on Cheers. Several of his comebacks from being welcomed into the bar from haphazard.com to share.
Good afternoon, everybody.
Hey! Oh! How does a beer sound, Norm?
I don't know, Coach. I usually finish them before they get a word in.
How's life in the fast lane, Normie?
That beats me. I can't find the on-ramp.
Still pouring, Norm?
That's funny. I was about to ask you the same thing.
But what would you say to a nice beer, Normie?
Going down?
Hey, Mr. Peterson, there's a cold one waiting for you.
I know. And if she calls, I'm not here.
How you doing, Norm?
Cut the small talk and give me a beer.
What are you up to, Norm?
My ideal weight if I were 11 feet tall.
What's going down, Mr. Peterson?
My cheeks on this bar stool.
What do you say, Norm?
Well, I never met a beer I didn't drink.
What's happening, Norm?
Well, it's a dog-eat-dog world, Sammy, and I'm wearing milk-bone underwear.
And honestly, even Packers fans could love George Wendt on the recurring sketch about the Chicago Bears fans on SNL. Here's a fun moment.
I'm Bob Swirsky, and I want to thank everyone for sending those cards to my brother Bill, who recently had another heart attack. We are coming to you live from Ditka's here on Thanksgiving Day, a day for giving thanks for or taking punishment from a team that is known as the Bears.
The Bears. People still say that. You can still say people were doing the Bears when it was the Pope. So condolences to actor George Wendt's family, friends, and fans, the Illinois native who went to school in Prairie du Chien, Wisconsin, and still leaves us laughing. And a couple quick local music news notes. 2 quick Wisconsin State Fair concert announcements on the Bank 5-9 main stage on the racetrack. They just announced a headliner, Queensryche.
And I raise my head and stare into the eyes of a stranger.
Queensryche, Great White and Quiet Riot opening on that show Sunday, August 3rd. And my first introduction to Queensryche was when I worked at 93 QFM, the rock station, back in the 90s. I was still at Marquette. What a voice. And then Brian Kelly and I were talking about, I was like looking at their set list. I was like, you know what song really rocks? And we both agreed and said it pretty much at the same time. Jet City Woman. I just got the horns from the production studio from Brian Kelly. So that is August 3rd at the Wisconsin State Fair. And the other headliner announced today at the Wisconsin State Fair, country star John Party.
Give me a half an hour.
He's going to bring his twang and honky-tonk hits. Easton Corbin opening Wednesday, August 6th, Wisconsin State Fair. So tickets for both John Party and Queensryche shows on sale Friday. But next, connect with creativity at the St. Kate. Today we have the opportunity to talk with artist in residence Megan Woodard Johnson. Next on What's on Tap.
Politics, work, daily stressors. Let's take a break from all that and get centered, Christ-centered. I'm Pastor Tim Butker. Join me each week for Christian Crusaders, a broadcast that highlights the gospel, the good news of Jesus, and our belief in the authoritative Word of God. Christ-centered, gospel-oriented, Bible-based, Christian Crusaders. Please join us Sundays at 6 a.m. on WTMJ. We'd love to have you worship with us.
I gave it a shot, and I came in and had the procedure done. To me, it was amazing because I don't think I ever breathed that clear. I wish I would have done it 20 years ago.
WTMJ's Vince Vitrano here for Shopco Optical. Get eyewear for everything you do at Shopco Optical. Schedule your annual comprehensive eye exam, check out new frame styles, and order your annual supply of contact lenses all in one place. Enjoy the time and attention your eyes deserve at Shopco Optical. Receive quality eye care and a personalized vision solution tailored to your specific vision and lifestyle needs. Call Shopco Optical or visit shopco.com to schedule an appointment at a location nearest you.
Get the help you need from How To Radio, Saturday mornings on WTMJ. At 7, it's the WTMJ Fix-It Show with David Nason, featuring this week's guests, Dimension Design Build Remodel and CertaPro Painters. At 9, plan your dream vacation with the Fox World Travel Show. Get at 10, get financial guidance during Money Talk. Contact NX Wealth Management for an unbiased review of your investments at nxwealth.com. Saturday mornings on WTMJ. You're listening to What's on Tap with Sandy Maxx on WTMJ.
Connect with creativity at the St. Kate, the Arts Hotel. And I'm excited for this spotlight interview. We have the opportunity to talk with artist in residence, Megan Woodard Johnson. And Megan, welcome.
Thank you for having me.
First and foremost, what does it mean to be an artist in residence at St. Kate, the Arts Hotel?
Sure. So St. Kate has a designated artist studio space on the first floor of the hotel. It's a great, big, beautifully well-lit space, and they offer it up as a studio for artists for a year-long residency. So for me, that means I'm in there for a year just making my paintings and interacting with hotel guests and people that come through to talk to me about the work.
And they're great big windows, so everybody can see what you're doing and what you're working on, even when you're not in the studio.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
And Megan, where are you based when you're not inside the St. Kate Arts Hotel?
I live up in West Bend. So we've been in West Bend for about 15 years. I've had a number of studios in West Bend, but now my studio is back in my house because we've got a lot of room. My kids are all out of the house and I've got plenty of space. So that's where the studio will be when I'm done with this year.
And what is your art specialty? How do you describe your art?
Right. So I describe it as mixed media abstract work. It's two-dimensional work meant to hang on the wall. My work is not meant to represent anything that you would recognize in the work. It's very dedicated to color and mark and visual texture and lots of layers of materials. There's collage, there's acrylic paint, many different drawing materials like oil pastels give really good rich colors, and pencils and sometimes markers, anything that'll make a different type of mark or line or visual texture to the piece. So mixed media abstract work.
So when somebody walks by your big open air windowed studio and they see you working, what will they see you doing? When you mentioned mixed media, like collage, will you be cutting things? Will you be drawing? Will you be making a mess?
It could be different every day. And my work, I tend to work on many different pieces at once. So they're all in different stages of the process, and they all get so many different layers of materials. Early on in the piece, there's just collage covering the whole surface. Usually it is going to be vintage papers that were used for people to learn or learn things, teach things, keep track of daily life. Like I love a ledger with people's handwriting in it, or like one of those old penmanship books that kids learn to write their letters. Yeah. Just things that sort of connect to the little bits of foundational rules and structure that we built our life around. That's always the first layer of the piece. But then on top of that, I start laying in lots of initially like really wild, weird color combinations, very sort of big scribbly marks. So pieces sort of grow over time. So if you walk past the studio 3 times in a week, every piece is going to be at a different stage every day that you see it. So there's a lot to engage with throughout the week.
How did you become an artist in the first place? Where do you get this inspiration?
It's what I always wanted to do. As a kid, I just always wanted to be making art, coloring books, just constructing things. I was just always, gluing things together and piecing things together and making art and making projects. And then it kept going. I was afforded a really wonderful formal art education all the way through college. And then you get to a point where just every piece you make is a teacher and is a continuation of your learning how to be an artist.
And how did you become the artist in residence at the St. Kate, the Arts Hotel? How did that process happen?
Yeah, well, honestly, the curator at St. Kate's, Shane McAdams, really has a process of just keeping an eye out on Southeast Wisconsin artists. I say Southeast Wisconsin because it's not a residency that affords you a place to live. It just affords you a studio. So you've got to be able to commute there. And he just knows so many artists that are doing so many different things. And he had in his mind that he wanted a pretty traditional active studio practice. So an artist that was going to be like, I've got paint dripping on the walls and on the floors, and we're really going for it in there. And that's what he wanted. And he knew of my work from 10 years of submitting to shows and being juried into events. And luckily, I came to his mind, and I was all for it.
How has being in this fishbowl affected your artwork? Can you tell over the past few months that it's changed how you create?
I don't think it's changed the work itself, because that is pretty established, how I work and what I want to be making. It has just afforded me so many great conversations with people, and my work is really inspired by little moments of connection that we have all through our lives, little moments, in our personal lives, things we share with people, just connections. And so a lot of times as a studio artist, you are alone all the time working on your work, and you have to wait until one big moment, a show or a sale, to interact with people. at St. Kate, I get to interact with people every day, and that just fuels the fire, essentially.
Great.
Yeah.
Megan Woodard Johnson is the artist in residence at St. Kate, the Arts Hotel. You can walk by and see her. What do you have planned for the rest of your residency?
Yeah, so we have the last weekend of June, we'll be doing just a little drop-in workshop kind of thing, purely collage-based, but let people come in and kind of make their own project and take it along with them. I'll be giving an artist talk on the Saturday of the July gallery night and day weekend, and I'll be open Friday night as well for the regular gallery night hours. At the very end, my residency ends the end of August, and the weekend before the last final weekend, I'll be having just a big exhibition party. I'm going to just call it Look What I Made. I feel like a little kid all the time when I'm making art. I just feel like a happy kid making stuff. So we're going to finish up the year with just a big party, so anybody's welcome.
I was just going to say, it sounds like a very welcoming vibe to come see you.
Yeah, that's what I strive for. I really love having people in the studio, so I hope it feels welcoming when they come in.
Is there a website to track you and follow along?
Well, I would definitely point everybody to St. Kate's website. And then mine is just my name. It's meganwoodardjohnson.com. And that's a good place to find me.
Sounds like a very welcoming invitation to come see you the great big open windowed studio at St. Kate, the Arts Hotel.
Yep. Fishbowl. And yeah, that's a good word for it.
Come get messy with you.
Yep.
Megan Woodard Johnson, thank you so much for stopping by. And I look forward to seeing you in action in the lobby there.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
Oh, absolutely my pleasure. And next, Summerfest updates and your chance to win free concert tickets to see the Beach Boys Friday night at the Riverside. I'm Sandy Maxx. Please stay with me on What's on Tap on WTMJ.
Heart disease won't stop us. Diabetes won't slow us down. Allergies, high blood pressure, shoulder pain, cancer. Nothing will keep us from pushing Wisconsin ahead. Because with the Freighter and the Medical College of Wisconsin Health Network, forward progress is what we stand for. That means always pushing and always innovating. With new technologies and breakthrough treatments that make life better, whether we're sick or well. It means providing more convenience and more ways to receive medical excellence for all your health needs, for big and small. It means being there for you, our family, caring for yours. So let's keep raising the bar. Let's keep testing the limits of what medicine can do. Let's push ahead and make life here as great as it can be. Visit Freighter.com to find out how.
Don't think twice. Call Geis.
A great way to add value and curb appeal to your home is with a new LiftMaster or CHI maintenance-free garage door. Hey, it's WTMJ's Greg Matzik. A study by Remodelers Magazine reports that the average return on investment is an amazing 82%. Garage doors rank first among all home improvement projects. To see Geis's huge selection of doors, visit their showroom in Brookfield, or you can also visit their online showroom at geisdoors.com. Geis has everything from alley doors to custom wood designer doors and everything in between. Remember, for all your garage door needs, you call Geis at 262-784-4250. That number again, 262-784-4250. It's Geis. Visit them online at geisdoors.com.
Don't think twice. Call Geis.
Here's to sweet summer days together with friends and family in Wisconsin. To discovering magic in every moment.
Hey, Mom, over here.
And to reconnecting through a world filled with wonder.
Wow.
Here's to supper club celebrations and dancing until the sun goes down. Here's to those who Wisconsin. Plan your summer getaway at travelwisconsin.com.
This is What's on Tap with Sandy Maxx.
Ah, jawohl. Can't you just picture the fun? If you've been following me on social media at Sandy Maxx, you've seen a couple of lively videos of me sporting a stein of beer at Old German Beer Hall. And it's full of Hofbrau beer because getting in the mood and time is ticking. Should I save you a spot? Travel tips from people in my circle, because I've been talking about the European Brewery Tour, and there's a couple weeks left before the deadline, and I would hate for you to miss out because this really isn't going to be a good time, and it's been fun just talking about it with other people and finding out these travel tips from people who, in my circle, have been to some of the locations. If you listen to What's on Tap, remember when Bavarian Beer House owner Josh Nyrider and brewmaster Jacob Suttrick were here? They lit up when we were chatting about visiting Munich, and this is one of their travel suggestions.
Yeah, there's a lot of them, but the Augustiner Keller is one of the best beers. They don't really export it. They do in small amounts, but that's close to the Hofbrauhaus, so you should definitely visit there.
Yeah, and that is on our list, so I got very excited. I was like, oh, one of your tips is on the list. We're going to go to Augustiner and Hofbrauhaus when we're in Munich. And then as we travel in Munich, Austria, and the Czech Republic, one of the other sites we're going to see is beautiful. It's the fairy tale architecture of the Neuschwanstein Castle in Germany, the one that inspired Walt Disney to make Sleeping Beauty's castle look like it does at his amusement parks. And my Good Karma Brands teammate Dylan got very excited when he saw it on our itinerary as soon as we announced the trip, because he enjoyed a wonderful visit at Neuschwanstein Castle, learning about the history and the mystery of the castle. Actually, two castles.
What had happened was King Ludwig II was born into this family, a very rich family, and lived in this castle. And when he was older, he wanted to be able to have his own castle, but have a castle that looked down upon his parents. And I don't want to spoil too much of what this trip is, but so when he was old enough to be able to build his own castle and design it the way that he wanted it to be, he took all of his stuff, went to the top of the mountain, started building this castle, and it was huge. And it was 200 rooms, like I said. Only 12 rooms were finished, including the throne room, including his bedroom. And then he was unable to finish the castle because he was found dead. So if you're a big crime junkie, if you're into that.
There's mystery on top of the impressive architecture.
Yes.
Oh, this sounds like a real experience. And that's just some of our stops in Germany. We're going to go to Austria and visit Salzburg and Vienna, and we're going to wrap up the entire trip in Prague. I would love for you to join me. Email me, sandy@WTMJ.com. If you've been meaning to and you just keep forgetting to, pop me a note, sandy@WTMJ.com. I'll send you the brochure. You can also find it on WTMJ.com and on social media. But I would love to take this trip with you, experience the culture, the history, and of course, sip some steins of beer while we're at it. So join me on the European Brewery Tour in September, the 12th through the 22nd. Pop me a note, sandy@WTMJ.com. Let's travel together. Summerfest update with WTMJ reporter Nazir Spencer. But first, we go to the WTMJ Breaking News Center. Here is Sean Brinda.
Thanks, Sandy. Milwaukee Public Schools is at risk of losing aid again over late financial reports. DPI officials say that MPS had until May 16 to provide information on its 2024 fiscal year auditor aid certification and auditor fund balance, as well as the 2024 fiscal year annual report. Already $16 million in state funding for special education is still being withheld from last year. DPI says if both reports are not delivered by May 30th, more state financial aid will be withheld. And it's been 1 year since Amtrak's Borealis line started connecting Milwaukee with Chicago and Minneapolis-St. Paul. During its first year of operation, the St. Paul to Chicago line has amassed more than 290,000 riders. Amtrak officials report that the surge in riders has gone up by 227% compared to 2023. As of today, the Borealis line serves 600-plus passengers a day. And a Wisconsin judge announces she's running for the state Supreme Court. Appeals Court Judge Chris Taylor is the first liberal candidate to enter the 2026 race. Conservative Jessica Rebecca Bradley is running for re-election. Since liberals now hold a 4/3 majority, the election will not affect the control of the court. All right, taking a look at your roads with your WTMJ Time Saver traffic. We got a couple of incidents on the road. One at I-41, US 45 North at Mayfair Road. The right shoulder is closed due to a crash. Then over on I-94 East, 1.2 miles beyond the ramp from Moreland Road, the right lane is blocked due to a fire. So be aware of that. We have emergency crews out there right now. And that roads are looking pretty clear across all of southeast Wisconsin. All right, time for your WTMJ 5-day forecast. Tonight it's going to be cloudy with some light rain. Up to a quarter inch of additional rain is possible. The low of 44 degrees. Thursday will be mostly cloudy with a stray of sprinkles here and there with some rain, with a high of 54 near the lake and 58 degrees inland. Friday will be partly cloudy with a high of 55 near the lake and 60 degrees inland. Saturday, mostly sunny with a high of 57 near the lake and 63 inland. And Sunday will be partly cloudy with a high of 58 near the lake and a 65 inland. Right now in Green Bay, it's 50 degrees. In Waukesha, it's 47 degrees. And right here in Milwaukee, it's 46 degrees. I'm Sean Brenda, Outdoor Living Unlimited. WTMJ News Time is 6:32.
The deeper the hole, the more damage you're going to cause, especially if you're driving around with low tire pressure.
We're talking about potholes, and if you're not careful, they'll spring up out of nowhere and bite you right in the keister.
We've fixed broken ball joints, broken control arms, blown struts, damaged wheel alignments.
You name it, we've fixed it. That wheel alignment is an adjustment of your suspension, which is a system that connects your car to its wheels.
And when your alignment's off, you get uneven, premature tire wear, and we have a fix for that too.
If a pothole is bitten you where it hurts, come to Richlands for a professional evaluation by one of our ASE certified technicians.
And at the very least, we'll make sure you have the right amount of air pressure in your tires.
And remember, be safe, buckle up, and hey, always make sure you've got good tread on your tires. I'm Brett Matchke with Richlands, your
Do It For Service.
Since 1964, we've changed your tires and so much more. Richlands Tire and Service, such a refreshing change. Richlands.
Save big on your landscaping project at Menards. We're your destination for concrete landscaping blocks. Whether you're installing a patio or adding a new retaining wall, we have the largest in-stock selection ready to take home today. Plus, get free estimates fast using our landscape design program in store or on Menards.com. Save big on landscape blocks when you shop at Menards. And check out our weekly flyer on Menards.com for all the great deals happening now.
Save big money at Menards.
Save big on everything for your next staining project when you shop at Menards. Transform your home in one weekend with exterior stain and sealer from Dutch Boy. It provides one-coat protection on decks, fences, siding, and outdoor furniture, and repels rain after just 4 hours of application. That means quicker results, saving you both time and money. Check out our weekly flyer on Menards.com for more great deals happening this week.
Save big money at Menards.
What's on Tap with Sandy Maxx is back on WTMJ.
You're too sweet for me.
What's on Tap? Sponsored by Visit Milwaukee. Handcrafted, homegrown, world-class. Discover more at visitmilwaukee.org. That is Hosier, one of the Summerfest headliners. He'll be performing at Summerfest June 20th. And today is a day where we found out even more fun that's happening at Summerfest. And WTMJ's Nazir Spencer, you were at the Summerfest preview party just a couple hours ago.
Absolutely. There's a whole bunch of new stuff going on. There's a lot of new vendors there, all beautiful people. They love having fun with everybody, giving out their products to people, and love to just showcase what they're about. And there's some good ones on here. I got Stacy Blythe dog goods for good dogs. They make accessories for dogs.
Goods for good dogs.
Good dogs, and they got bows for dogs. They got collars for dogs. They got little just shirt wear for dogs to walk around. It's the cutest thing ever. She had she showed me her little collar that she had for her dog because she adopted her dog, I believe. And her dog's her CEO, actually. She got the inspiration from that, so she told me. So,
is this a local business?
No, it's. I believe it's one of just those kind of.
They're just coming in to be part of the vendor marketplace because a lot of people talk about the music, a lot of people talk about the food, the people watching, but the shopping, the strolling, and getting a cool souvenir is part of it.
Yeah, and she says that she's been doing it for 5 years. She's one of the only ones that actually have been doing this for a long time. A lot of them, this is her first year. So that one's been there for a while, and then. Sheena, she has May Rose, which is like this skin product that she has to give out to everyone, which is pretty nice. And that's
did you get a sample?
I did get a sample. It's in my car right now.
What's it like?
It smells good. That's the main thing she told me. She said that she really she has eczema, so she wanted to make skincare for people that has eczema, but also just to make skincare for people, just in general.
Yeah.
And the biggest thing about skincare is it doesn't smell the greatest, and she really wanted to make sure that this smells good, and that's one of her biggest products. And that was one of the nicer ones. That was my first one I went to, and that was a pretty cool experience as well. So that one, and then Bandit Milwaukee. That's one on Brady Street. That's a local one.
Bandit, yeah, I can
Bandit,
see that.
yeah. That's they have hats, they have shirts, they have beads, they have necklaces, they have all types of stuff.
Festival wear is what I would call that.
There you go.
For sure.
Yeah, for sure. And Liz and Michelle gave me a little synopsis of what they go through. They have Colors vintage clothing store in Milwaukee, Brady Street, like I said, and they like bold colors. They like bright prints and clothes from different eras, and trying to bring that different era kind of back.
Well, and that uniqueness, you want to be able to showcase yourself, because one of the funnest things about Summerfest is just looking at the T-shirts people wear.
And that's what she said. She said she wants everyone to wear those T-shirts because that's what brings the light to to Summerfest.
Because it's a way to express yourself, whether you're a Star Wars fan or a music fan or some like deep quote from Arrested Development or something.
Right.
It's like, oh, hey, there's somebody that I'd get a kick out of. Just those ways to express yourself. But if it's with vintage clothes instead, because you've got the 80s, you've got the 90s, you've got all the decades, and people who want to borrow what their favorite part of that is.
Yeah, and that brings the colors that they put on these clothes. That's what kind of brings those different eras out. I'm pretty sure.
What kind of colors is Bandit putting on?
They got darker colors, like dark maroonish colors. They got super light red, super light blue. They got different other clothing like jean jackets and stuff like that as well. You can put different stickers on there. You got the necklaces, like you said, the festival wear. So it's all it's a different variety of things, different eras of stuff. So it's pretty nice. That's a good one to go check out if you're going to Summerfest. And then another one. This is another brand for dogs. Talk Dog to Me. And
Talk Dog.
We were talking before we got on air, and that's a pretty cool one. And she has a pretty unique mission. Her mission is to end puppy mills in Wisconsin, and it's pretty cool. And she says this as well.
Events throughout the state, and I give 5% back to rescues and shelters that take in puppy mill survivor dogs.
So.
That's wonderful.
Right. So
that's unexpected, because I was just going to tease you. I love that it's like, everybody's. I've been covering the music extensively.
Yeah.
People are going to talk about the food, but you just gravitated right towards the fashion and the vendors and the shopping.
Yep.
But this is great. But to find these wonderful stories and to know that you can get something for your four-legged friend and be helping out other four-legged friends. That's wonderful. 5%. That's
it's amazing.
That's pretty generous of your profit.
Right. And
Talk Dog to Me.
Yep, that's a good one. It's a good name, right?
I can remember that.
Yeah, that's a trademark. And the last one, my favorite one, is Howdy Hat Bar with Grace and Luca. They were the nicest people ever. I actually have a little souvenir hat right here.
Oh,
blue hat, and it's wonderful. For those of you who can't see, it's blue.
Like a blue trucker hat.
Yep.
But it has been both bejeweled and it's a lot of patches on there.
Yeah, and Grace talks about that a little bit here.
There's a lot of similar concepts going around, but we decided to make it mobile. We saw the concept when we were down south, and it was a hit, and we just thought, why not bring it to the city that we love and give the community something fun to make and kind of keep for themselves.
So it's DIY. So those patches, like you could choose the Summerfest logo or the lightning bolt or music notes or big old cowboy boot that's on there.
Yep.
I can't wait to see you wearing this.
Oh man, you're gonna see me wearing this first day. And then she said the best sticker is the Summerfest smile. So everyone listening, the best one is the best sticker is the Summerfest smile sticker.
But that's how that's where it's that specific souvenir. You remember where it's from. But I also I cracked up though, because when you showed me this cap, it's got basically multicolored pearls at the base, just on the rim, and I was like, well, look at you all beat it up, and you're like, yes, I like this. I'm gonna wear this very proudly.
Yeah,
and it is anything. Again, we were talking about individuality, whether it's from different decades, but being able to customize your own look and express yourself at a festival at any age is great.
It's awesome. Yep.
Thank you very much. What else? Tell me you sampled some food.
Oh, I got these donuts. Oh my goodness, you're not gonna believe it. Sills Mini Donuts.
Oh,
and he said he vendors from festivals all around. He's not local. He does just events. And he likes to just sell donuts and give them.
He used to have a space over on the east side, and it closed and it made everybody cry. So it's nice to have Sills at Summerfest.
Yeah, and he's out in Madison. I knew it looked familiar because I've seen it before at one of the Camp Randall games, and he's out there all the time selling some donuts. So
that smells mouth-watering.
Those donuts are amazing. So go get you some Sills Mini Donuts, everybody.
And tell me one band you're looking forward to seeing at Summerfest.
Oh, one band. Oh,
you tell me more if you're like, oh no, I got 3 on my checklist.
I don't even. I have to look at the lineup again. That's a very good question. question.
I'll circle back with you, Nizer.
Circle back with me. I'm a big music guy, so we can talk some music for sure.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
And I will tell you on the WTMJ Siding Unlimited talk and text line, 855-616-1620, Caroline texted in that she loves that. Yay, rescue those puppy mill doggos. We got to shut them all down soon. So Talk Dog to me is the vendor to look for at Summerfest.
It's a great one.
We'll circle back and talk more Summerfest, Nizer. Thank you very, very much for your report. And stay with me, music fans. Rock and Roll Hall of Famers who bring that summertime vibe are in Milwaukee Friday night. The Beach Boys, and your chance to win free tickets next on What's on Tap on WTMJ.
Connect with creativity and experience art in action. Learn more about St. Kate's Artist in Residence program now at stkatearts.com. That's stkatearts.com.
Have you heard a lot of buzz about tariffs?
No.
Really?
What's a tariff?
It's a tax on imported goods.
Well, I've never heard of tariffs because 92.3% of Penny Mustard's furniture is made in the USA.
True.
In fact, most of it is built by local craftsmen and women right here in the Midwest.
And locally sourced furniture will never have a tariff on it.
Can we talk about this later? I'm tired of hearing about these tariffs.
So I guess you can say that all this talk about tariffs is taxing.
PennyMustard.com.
AccuNet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
Flimsy, feeble, flaccid. That's how you can describe most pre-approval letters these days because most banks still issue pre-approval letters without actually verifying your income, employment, or down payment. That's the exact opposite of an AccuNet rock-solid, fully verified and guaranteed pre-approval, where we put a $2,000 guarantee behind the fact the seller can actually rely on the terms of your pre-approval and offer. With AccuNet, there's also a possibility of issuing a property-specific pre-approval with as little as a 10% down payment that includes the magic words, no appraisal required. That's right, AccuNet may be able to issue your pre-approval without needing an appraisal. That's the kind of certainty that can help a seller say yes to your offer. Sure, you can try competing with a flimsy bank pre-approval, or you can click on the blue button at AccuNet.com and get started with the pre-approval listing agents and sellers recognized as the best in the business. That's ACCUNET.com.
I'm David Calley, owner and president of Dimension Design Build Remodel. In addition to renovating homes and building additions, we construct high-quality, elegant homes designed to exceed our clients' expectations. Our commitment is building homes using healthy materials, products, and construction methods. Known as the builder of Wisconsin's healthiest home, our award-winning team, which includes certified construction professionals, is dedicated to building homes that fulfill our clients' needs. We are active MBA and NARI members, committed to adhering to a new construction process that offers the best solution. Visit DimensionDBR.com to learn more about our new construction process and to review our photo gallery. When looking to build a high-quality, beautiful, and healthy home, Dimension Design Build Remodel is the company to choose. Call 262-402-6602 or visit DimensionDBR.com.
Welcome back to What's on Tap on WTMJ.
Get around, I get around, yeah, get around, round, round, I get around, I get around, round, round, I get around, get around, round, round, I get around, get around, round, round, I get around,
That is the sound of summertime, isn't it? Friday night. The Beach Boys, The Sounds of Summer Tour. Friday, May 23rd, Riverside Theater. The music, the memories. You can get your tickets now at papstheatergroup.com. I would recommend that. That's just a good way to spend a Friday for every age, especially we've been putting up with this gray, foggy, wet weather. Doesn't the Sound of Summer Tour sound great? Your lucky day. Ride the endless summer wave. I'm going to give away 2 sets of tickets in this segment. Oh, yeah. And just in case you're not familiar with the Beach Boys, you just heard a little bit of them there. And I got a chance to talk with one of the Beach Boys earlier today. Let's go ahead, producer Brian Kelly, a little bit of one of the Beach Boy band members, Bruce Johnston.
Hi, Sandy. It's Bruce Johnston here from the Beach Boys, and we will be coming to Riverside Theater this Friday, and we'll be playing over 90 minutes of our hits from over the years, and we're hoping to see our WTMJ fans as we kick off the summer. We've got great memories of Milwaukee from Summerfest to the Wisconsin State Fair. And we love coming to Riverside.
And he is going to be here with founding member Mike Love. So I think, when you see the Beach Boys, don't you want to see certain members? Yep, you're going to get Mike Love fresh off his 2025 induction into the Songwriters Hall of Fame with Bruce Johnston. And think of all the songs, over 60 years of music. Good Vibrations, Wouldn't It Be Nice? There are a whole lot to remember. And you just heard Bruce Johnston there. You're going to find out which song is his favorite to play every night on stage and the story behind it. He's going to introduce the song you need to hear tonight. But you have good timing if you want to win tickets. And, Beach Boys, they had a hit Disney Plus documentary. They've got a new book out. Never been a better time to catch these Rock and Roll Hall of Famers live. So don't miss an unforgettable night of sunshine, harmonies, surf rock, nostalgia, fun for the whole family. Beach Boys, live at the Riverside Theater Friday night. Callers 13 and 14 on the Siding Unlimited WTMJ Talk and Text line 855-616-1620, 855-616-1620. Callers 13 and 14, you will be seeing the Beach Boys live on stage Friday at the Riverside Theater. And the song you need to hear, chosen by Beach Boys band member Bruce Johnston. The song you need to hear, sponsored by Flanners Home Entertainment. Visit them at flanners.com. Sound advice at the best price. Just play. That is next.
Hey there, Brewers fans. We've got a new way for you to watch the Brew Crew this season. FanDuel Sports Network. And now there are more ways to watch the Brewers than ever before. Subscribe directly to FanDuel Sports Network to stream all the action. Or, new this season, Brewers Baseball is now available on Amazon Prime Video as an add-on subscription. You can also access FanDuel Sports Network through TV providers, including DirecTV, Spectrum, Xfinity, Fubo, and more. Visit GetMyHomeTeams.com to learn more.
WTMJ's Eric Bilstead here for QC Kinetics. For more than 8 years, QC Kinetics has been the nation's leader in non-surgical relief for joint pain. You heard that right, non-surgical relief. More than 50,000 patients who had knee pain, back pain, now living pain-free. Those with shoulder and hip pain, it's gone. The regenerative cell therapy restores tissues in your achy joints. Dr. Caravelli's team uses biologic growth factors with robust healing properties carefully and strategically placed in your joint. And there's no surgery. Remember that. It's a powerful and potent way to give your joints new life, repairing the old tissue. Here's what you do. You call today, 414-285-3474, 414-285-3474. Call QC Kinetics for your free consultation. 414-285-3474. Call QC Kinetics today.
When we're out in your town, come say hi as we broadcast live from the Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin mobile studio.
Anytime you hear us when we're on the road, you can find us live from our brand new mobile studio.
Whether it be Summerfest, EAA, Opening Day, Air and Water Show, wherever we may be.
You can see us on the radio, live from the Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin mobile studio.
We are Wisconsin's radio station.
We are Wisconsin's radio station.
We are Wisconsin's radio station.
News Radio 620 WTMJ.
Panic strikes as you realize on Wednesday that Thursday is your anniversary. The reservations being secured.
We'll see you at 8.
The gift being purchased. Yeah, you've got this. Just like Associated Bank's got you with early pay up to 2 days early on direct deposits. So even though they call you Last Minute Lisa, we'll make your last minute scrambling a bit easier. You've got this with early pay from Associated Bank. See associatedbank.com/checking or ask a banker for details. Member FDIC.
You're listening to What's on Tap with Sandy Maxx on WTMJ. And now, feast your ears. This is the song you need to hear.
Most blokes are going to be playing at 10. These go to 11.
Giving away 2 pairs of tickets to see the Beach Boys. The Sounds of Summer Tour, Friday, May 23rd, just a couple of days away at the Riverside Theater. The music, the memories, the Beach Boys ride that endless summer wave. Congratulations to our 2 WTMJ fans who just won tickets to enjoy that show Friday night. PabstTheaterGroup.com if you want to get your tickets. But time now for the song you need to hear, chosen by Beach Boys band member Bruce Johnston. It is his favorite to play on stage every night. He's going to tell us why. as he introduces the song you need to hear. Sponsored by Flanners Home Entertainment. Visit them at flanners.com. Sound advice at the best price. Just press play. Now keep in mind, the legendary members of this Rock and Roll Hall of Fame band, Mike Love, Brian Wilson, the list goes on. And Bruce Johnston was there for it. And his favorite song?
Here's something that I hope you like. My favorite song every night is California Girls, and that happens to be the first song I ever recorded as a Beach Boy. And I was in the studio, and Brian pokes his head out of the studio and says, "Hey, Mike, I've got this song called California Girls, but I need some words." And so Mike just started writing words out. And I watched him write the words, and he'd scratch them out and do more until he fine-tuned it on a yellow legal pad. I couldn't believe it. He was like a runaway fax machine. Anyway, he's a great lyricist. Way back in 1965 when I started. Anyway, we're looking forward to having you sing along with us this Friday night at Riverside. It'll be the Beach Boys.
California Girls by the Beach Boys, the song you need to hear tonight on What's on Tap, with a special introduction by Beach Boys band member Bruce Johnston. He is excited to be back in Wisconsin with the rest of the band Friday night at the Riverside Theater. And a couple of Wisconsin girls. Congratulations to Kelly from Menominee Falls and Karen from Milwaukee, WTMJ fans who just won free tickets to see them Friday night. If you want to go, jump on it. It's going to be such a fun, summery night of music at the Riverside. PabstTheaterGroup.com is the website to go to get your Beach Boys tickets. Fun for all ages and sing-along songs. That just already brightened me, because I'm telling you, this whole stretch of some gray weather needed a little injection of endless summer vibes. So hear the harmonies and sing along Friday night at the Riverside Theater. I am Sandy Maxx. Thanks so much for hanging out with me tonight. We have another hour of What's on Tap ahead. Going to talk Streisand and going to talk Shakespeare. Yes, two theater productions that you'll want to see, both unique productions, and we will tell you why with special in-studio guests. So stay with me here on What's on Tap on WTMJ.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
Does music matter to you?
Flanders Home Entertainment wants to help you have the best music experience at home. They've got high-quality products, the best prices, and high-fidelity expertise for the best sound in and outside your home. Now is a great time to shop Flanders with our Music Matters sale event. All speakers, all amplifiers, receivers, turntables, CD players, music streamers, and accessories are on sale. Visit Flanders Home Entertainment today in West Allis, Grafton, or at Flanders.com. Sound advice at the best price. Flanders.
Just press play.
Hey there, I'm Sandy Maxx at WTMJ. What are the workplace values in your place of business? Well, at 3 Pillars Senior Living Communities in Dousman, I'm going to tell you about some incredible career opportunities there. And their workplace values: respect, commitment, fulfillment, empathy, and fun. 3 Pillars, you've heard me tell you, and it's true, again, rated as the top senior living community in Wisconsin, and it's a certified great place to work, and they are hiring caregivers with their assisted living and memory care communities. Full and part-time, day or evening shifts, starting at $20 per hour, and you could get more based on experience and shifts. The best part, you will make a difference in the lives of others every day at 3 Pillars. Go to 3pillars.org and click on the Careers tab to learn more.
Why settle for just the job when you could have a career in the exciting automobile industry? The Auto Dealers Association of Metro Milwaukee new car dealer members have service, technician, sales, administrative, and management positions available now. The first word in career is car, and one of the best places to find a great career opportunity is at an Adam new car dealer.
For current great paying job opportunities, visit adam.jobs. That's ADAMM.jobs.
So if you're already in a relationship with an auto service center, that's great. We hope things keep firing on all cylinders.
But if you're not in a relationship, why not book your next date with us at Richlands the next time you're due for service?
All of our locations are AAA approved and staffed by ASC certified technicians with PhDs in
We can fix anything! Put that on top of the friendliest, hardest working staff you'll ever meet inside a tire and service center,
and you've got yourself a rock-solid date.
the next time you're due for factory scheduled maintenance
Or tires, brakes, and suspension service.
Book your date at richlands.com.
Or just Google us. But remember, Richlands is spelled with 2 N's.
And oh yeah, be safe, buckle up, and hey,
Always make sure you have good tread on your tires. I'm Courtney Matchke with Richlands, and you're due for a date.
clever.
Richlands Tire and Service, such a refreshing change. Richlands.
Give your liver the support it needs with Active Liver. Go to newnordicusa.com, Amazon, or ask for Active Liver at your local CVS. New you, new Nordic.
Find furniture for life from Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, or downtown Milwaukee.
Trusted, relevant, locally owned, locally programmed. We are Wisconsin's radio station. News Radio 620, WTMJ Milwaukee.
At 7 o'clock, it is currently 46 degrees in Milwaukee. Tonight will be cloudy with some light rain. Up to a quarter inch of additional rain is possible with a low of 44 degrees. Thursday will be mostly cloudy with a stray of sprinkles here and there with a high of 54 degrees near the lake and 58 degrees inland. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, I'm Sean Brenda. A teenager in Racine is charged for the shooting death of his younger brother. 16-year-old Pedro Sauceda faces 1 count of first-degree reckless homicide with use of a dangerous weapon. His 11-year-old brother, Jesus Chucho Valderez, died of a gunshot wound on Friday. The teen told investigators he was playing with the gun when his brother tried to take it away because he knew Sauceda wasn't supposed to have it. Sauceda is in custody on a $150,000 cash bond. And a very vocal disagreement in the Oval Office today with South Africa's president challenging President Trump on claims of white genocide in the country where apartheid was once law of the land. ABC chief White House correspondent Mary Bruce reports.
President Cyril Ramaphosa said he came to the White House to discuss trade. But Trump insists white South African farmers are being persecuted and murdered on a mass scale. Unproven claims that have been amplified by Elon Musk, a native of South Africa. Reporters asking Trump,
what will it take for you to be convinced that there's no white genocide in South Africa?
The South African president jumping in.
It will take President Trump listening.
A Wisconsin judge announces she's running for the state Supreme Court. Appeals Court Judge Chris Taylor is the first Liberal candidate to enter the 2026 race. Conservative Justice Rebecca Bradley is running for re-election. Since Liberals now hold a 4-3 majority, the election will not affect the control of the court. And Wisconsin could be the next state to pass a ban on cell phones in schools. The bill awaiting a vote in the Senate sets a baseline of minimum restrictions. Wisconsin Policy Forum Communications Director Mark Sumhauser tells WTMJ's Point Taken.
It would essentially codify for all districts a policy that the majority of districts already have adopted, which is that students would be able to bring their cell phones. They would be able to use them in common areas of the school, but they would not be able to use them in the classrooms during instructional time. Districts could go more stringent than this law if they wanted.
Summerhauser says a majority of adults support some restrictions, but public opinion does not favor a full ban. After Milwaukee Public Schools missed financial reports again, MMAC President Dale Cuenca says Superintendent Dr. Brenda Caselius needs more time. Cuenca says if the district were a Fortune 500 company, though, people would be in jail.
A public company just said we're going to miss earnings. Like they would eventually, their stock would go down. They would be delisted. There would be criminal charges possibly from the SEC and or civil fines and prosecution. So yeah, if this is a public company, there would be a massive loss in wealth and market cap. There would be civil and criminal actions taken by the SEC.
The final deadline for MPS to submit financial information to the Department of Public Instruction is May 30th. And it's been 1 year since Amtrak's Borealis line started, connecting Milwaukee with Chicago and Minneapolis. During that time, the St. Paul to Chicago line has amassed more than 290,000 riders. Amtrak officials report that the surge in riders has gone up by 227% compared to 2023. As of today, the Borealis line serves 600 plus passengers a day. Sports, traffic, weather, and next Outdoor Living Unlimited. WTMJ News Time is 7:04.
Are you worried about running out of money in retirement? Wondering about how to pay less taxes? Join me, Tony Drake, for the Retirement Ready Show live every Saturday at noon and Sunday at 7 a.m. on WTMJ 620 or 103.3 FM. We'll talk about smart strategies to help you retire with confidence. Don't miss it.
Drake & Associates LLC is an independent investment advisory firm that offers a variety of different investment vehicles. This commercial is provided for informational purposes only and should not be construed as individual investment advice. Drake & Associates LLC does not provide legal or tax advice. Past performance is not indicative of future performance.
Get the beat of the Bucks straight from a fan favorite and Bucks legend.
Welcome to the fantastic voyage. Marcus Johnson, the captain of this vessel.
Tap into Here District with Marcus Johnson, a Bucks Plus audio production.
My first mate, Chris Johnson, the only father and son tandem.
Your weekly pulse on the Milwaukee Bucks and conversations with the biggest names in basketball. This week on the pod, Marcus and Chris are joined by the legendary Chris Mad Dog Russo. Find Here District now on Bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, or wherever you get your podcast.
A buck doesn't buy much unless you're spending it at Griffin. For just $1 over cost, you can buy brand new tires from us. This is Jim Griffin. Any major brand, $1 over our cost with free tire repair and lifetime rotation. We'll even show you the invoice to prove it. Our only requirements, we put them on for you. Buy one or the whole set. The dollar deal from Griffin. Milwaukee, Waukesha, Fort Atkinson, and Jefferson. Griffin. The buck stops here. The deals on tires don't. That's Griffin.
Not combinable with other tire offers.
Welcome back to Ask Hasselus.
Your showrooms are employee-free.
Give the mattresses a try with no pushy sales guy.
Why?
To save you money.
How much money?
Our 42 beds from the top 5 brands start at $393.
That's pretty good.
And through Monday, purchase a select Beauty Rest or Silly Posturepedic mattress in any size and receive a free adjustable base. Plus, free next-day delivery and free financings available too.
I like the way you do business.
Find the self-service employee-free showroom near you at Hasselus.com.
Traffic is sponsored by the famous Fox and Hounds restaurant near Holy Hill.
Buy one dinner, get one free 7 days a week at the historic Fox and Hounds Supper Club, serving lunch on Saturday from 11 till 2, foxandhoundsrestaurant.com. It's the famous Fox and Hounds.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all Sports Desk. The Brewers lose to the Baltimore Orioles today, but win the series. The Brewers lost to the Orioles in extra innings, 8-4. And the Brewers face off against the Pittsburgh Pirates tomorrow with first pitch at 5:40 p.m. All right, taking a look at your roads with your WTMJ Time Saver traffic. We got a couple of incidents out on the road. One at I-43, 94 South at Beecher and Lincoln. The left lane is blocked due to a crash, so be aware of that. We have crews out there cleaning the scene right now. Then over on I-43 South at Wisconsin 145, Fond du Lac Avenue, right shoulder is blocked due to a disabled vehicle. Other than that, roads are starting to clear up across all of southeast Wisconsin. All right, taking a look at your WTMJ 5-day forecast. Tonight's going to be cloudy with some light rain. Up to a quarter inch of additional rain is possible with a low of 44 degrees. Tomorrow will be mostly cloudy with some sprinkles here and there with a high of 54 near the lake and 58 degrees inland. Friday will be partly cloudy with a high of 55 near the lake and 60 degrees inland. Saturday is going to be mostly sunny with a high of 57 degrees near the lake and 63 degrees inland. And Sunday will be partly cloudy with a high of 58 degrees near the lake and 65 degrees inland. Right now in Madison, it is currently 49 degrees. In Green Bay, it's currently 51 degrees. In Waukesha, it's currently 47 degrees. And right here in Milwaukee, it's currently 46 degrees. I'm Sean Brenda, Outdoor Living Unlimited. WTMJ News Time is 7:07.
Your need-to-know cultural snapshot of Wisconsin and beyond. This is What's on Tap with Sandy Maxx, sponsored by Visit Milwaukee, a deep dive into all things intriguing, riveting, and entertaining. Now, here's your host, Sandy Maxx.
Welcome to the second hour of What's on Tap, and I am thrilled to have big energy in the WTMJ studio right now. Actor Doug Clemens has joined me for this half hour of What's on Tap, and I can introduce you. Here's how but it's just like, but it feels weird, doesn't it, when somebody rattles off your accomplishments?
And fill it with compliments.
And you can correct me if I'm wrong, because as much as one does their research, I also know,
Can people see me too?
Yes, you can on the WTMJ YouTube live stream.
Oh, cool.
Yes.
Are they watching right now?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
And if you text the word watch to the Siding Unlimited WTMJ Talk and Text line 855-616-1620.
We can make this like a call and response.
Get the link and tap and watch it right there.
I love this. I love Ricky Lake.
Yeah.
Did Ricky Lake do this? Like a caller?
Oh, well, ages ago. That was more of a talk show.
Oh, I loved it.
But
I
yeah,
loved
I suppose
it.
if you have
in the
questions...
90s with the nails and they had their own board. Oh, I have a cough button. I could. Okay, sorry. Let's stay on topic.
But I love this that you're excited to be in a radio studio with windows to the Avenue to 3rd Street Market Hall.
I can watch people on awkward dates and like eating their pho. It's great.
And as an actor, though, isn't that kind of your essence, observing and picking up on those sorts of nuances?
I would like to say that I'm like, oh, all the time I'm observing characters and I'm learning about the human experience. No, I just love awkwardness. Like, I just love watching people be weird.
Hey, that's why Curb Your Enthusiasm is a hit.
I know! Yeah, it's great.
So you are Doug Clemens.
Sure I am.
You are a Milwaukee-based actor, but also a director and a choreographer?
I do it all. You know, I always make the joke of whoever has $1 and no taste, I'll show up and do it.
I'm going to tell you, though, you have been on stages. I'm going to tell you. Listen to me. Here's what I'm going to tell you, is that you have a reputation as an excellent singer.
Yeah.
And I haven't seen you sing yet, but Skylight, you've performed? Skylight Music Theater?
Absolutely. Yeah, I was actually an opera major. I wanted to be an opera singer and then ended up getting more gigs in musical theater and ended up just kind of doing that. But I still dabble in opera. Like I'll be... let's plug it. Scalia Ginsburg at the Florentine this summer. I'll be directing that.
Oh.
And I like to say choreographing as well, even though that's not officially what the paperwork says.
Movement is always involved.
But let's make them sing as dance, honey.
What is the plot line of
Scalia Ginsburg?
Yes.
Oh,
I mean, obviously it's in the title a bit.
Absolutely. So it's Antonin Scalia and Ruth Bader Ginsburg. It's a 3-person chamber opera. It's a little over an hour long. It's hilarious. And it is a love letter to all opera genres. The whole premise is that Essentially, Scalia gets locked in a room with this sort of commentator person who's sending him through 3 trials. So then Ruth Bader Ginsburg busts through the floor to help him out. It's hilarious. And you get to see these singers sing their faces off. It's great.
This is not what people think of when they think of opera.
No, not at all. And I don't think I'm the traditional person when they think of an opera director, which just fuels my fire.
So what does it take what are the job requirements to be an opera director instead of a performer?
Well, somebody has to trust you with the piece. That's the giant step.
Congratulations. Florentine gave you the vouch. Yep.
They have no idea I'm here talking about them. So thanks, guys. But let's see. I directed their children's school show. They do an educational tour every season. I directed that, 2 seasons ago. It was The Child and the Enchantments. So that was sort of my in to that company. But before that, I was in their core chorus for, I believe, 6 seasons right out of school. And then actually we're segueing into all sorts of things.
I love it.
So when I moved to Milwaukee,
conversational flow, baby.
I know. So I was an opera major in school, and my first gigs in Milwaukee were singing as a section leader for a lot of choirs around town, and I was one of the chorus members in the Florentine Opera Chorus. And then that introduced me to a whole lot of people in the community, including Milwaukee Opera Theater, some people at Skylight. My first gig at Skylight was an opera when I was 19, which is hilarious. And then Ray Jivoff plucked me out of that opera chorus and put me in the lead of a rock musical. So
which rock musical is that?
Hair.
Cool.
The rock musical of all rock musicals.
Yeah, indeed.
So yeah, it was 2014, and it was just this huge life-changing experience where I went from singing legit all the time to then belting. And now I sort of just kind of go back and forth as a singer.
Did you lean towards singing first or acting? Or?
Singing. Mm-hmm. Singing. Yeah. I started doing musicals in high school. I was a football player. I did it to make friends. It didn't work. And then then I started, I was singing in social studies class, and then the girl sitting in front of me turned around and she goes, "You have a good voice. You should try out for Grease." And I said, "That's not really my thing." What a lie. Ah! Anyway, so then I started singing around people.
You
and
know
I went
her
into
name.
Audition.
She changed your life.
Lauren Anderson.
Exactly.
And I will send this to Lauren Anderson from Judge Memorial Catholic High School in Salt Lake City, Utah. Hi, Lauren. She now lives in Seattle. She's lovely.
Oh, I love that you're still in touch, because isn't that funny when you can trace it back to that moment?
And I love how in grade school and high school, you remember people by their first and last names.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. It was never just Kevin. It was Kevin blah, 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 blah,
yeah.
blah.
Anyone you had a crush on, yeah. It's always
Absolutely.
the first and last name. Oh, yeah.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Right. So anyway, so then I started singing around, and then I tried out for Fiddler on the Roof, and I met the theater kids. And that's when I realized, I'm not weird. I'm just hanging out with the wrong people.
When you talked about making friends by being in the football team, I immediately was like, oh, you need to be at the theater.
It didn't
kids.
work. I mean, we went to a new school.
But you tried.
I certainly did. And I wasn't good at it either. I actually didn't know the rules. I was probably dangerous on that field, because I was I would tackle people by grabbing the back of their jerseys and trying to pull them down and call them names. And then be on the van ride home when my dad would be like, "Hey, you're actually not allowed to do that." And I'm like, then how am I going to bring that guy down?
Right, exactly.
He's huge. My dad's like, you have to tackle him.
I would say, and without hurting him. Empaths do not play football.
That's highly uncomfortable. Thank you for the shoulder pads, but no.
Because I went to a performing arts high school in Louisville, Kentucky, and I was encouraged to be part of the soccer team.
All right.
I am the world's slowest runner. I was great at stretching. You're like, oh, look, when we're doing the beginning.
The theater of the pre-show.
Oh, yeah. But exactly. But when it came to running, I was so slow, Doug. I was an entire lap behind the rest of the guys.
Oh.
Yeah. So I was not built to be, and I was a fullback, and that just meant just stand here and don't get in the way.
I just never knew the rules. Eventually the other players
will always mess you up.
Absolutely. And then I was I was the center, and then I was the guard. And I know that's the guy in the middle, and then one of the guys that stands right next to him had no idea what was going on the whole time.
We're going to talk about something you really know about.
Okay.
We're going to take a quick break, and in just a couple of minutes, we're going to talk about how you have spent time in Barbra Streisand's basement.
Ugh, Babs.
That's next to actor Doug Clemens on What's on Tap.
For those with a warm weather passion, try St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores because that's where you'll find a vast array of men's, women's, girls, and boys' warm weather apparel at the friendliest prices. So many choices and at such a value. You can fill the closet without draining your wallet. Shop warm weather fashions at St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
You're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
Hi, I'm Eric Brown, owner of Siding Unlimited, reminding you to double-check your home. Siding Unlimited is the proven exteriors professionals for 31 years. Family-owned and locally operated right here in Wisconsin. Call Siding Unlimited and visit sidingunlimited.com.
Get the help you need from How To Radio, Saturday mornings on WTMJ. At 7, it's the WTMJ Fix It Show with David Nason, featuring this week's guests, Dimension Design Build Remodel and CertaPro Painters. At 9, plan your dream vacation with the Fox World Travel Show. Yet at 10, get financial guidance during Money Talk. Contact Annex Wealth Management for an unbiased review of your investments at annexwealth.com. Saturday mornings on WTMJ.
The 2015 Wisconsin men's hoops team gave us all a march to remember.
There will be no undefeated champion on Wisconsin with an unbelievable stretch drive to the championship game.
On June 26th, enjoy an intimate celebration with the stars of the run with Made 'em Believe. Presented by M3 Insurance. World-class expertise and individual attention. Tickets are on sale now at uwhoops2015.com. Made 'em Believe, June 26th at the Orpheum Theater in Madison.
This is What's on Tap with Sandy Maxx.
Tell me not to live, just sit and putter. Life's candy and the sun's a ball of butter. Don't bring
the legend Barbara Streisand. And actor Doug Clemens is lip syncing along.
I don't want to disrupt her.
I don't think you should. Exactly.
No.
Exactly.
No.
So that is how one of the reasons I invited actor Doug Clemens to join me on What's on Tap is because I saw you performing in the one-person show called Buyer and Seller just last month. Renaissance Theater Works. You're on stage at Next Act Theater. Explain to everyone why we just played Barbara Streisand and how it relates to what is the story of Buyer and Seller. And Seller is spelled C-E-L-L-A-R, like a wine cellar.
Basement.
Yes.
So Barbara Streisand in 2010 wrote a book called My Passion for Design, and it's all about the building of her newest Malibu estate. She bought 3 plots of land on a Malibu shore and built these houses. And the dream refuge was this barn that's all beautiful and filled with these vintage things. But she had a basement in it and she didn't know what to do with it. So she built a shopping mall to house all of her various collections of things. So there's a doll shop, an antique store, a frozen yogurt shop in it. And Jonathan Tolens, who wrote this play, had this idea of what if somebody had to work down there? And then it just spiraled from there. So
because it is bizarre. I mean, the fact that that part of this story is true, that Barbara Streisand basically created something similar to the streets of Old Milwaukee in her basement for her occasional recreational pleasure.
Exactly.
Because she would go down, right?
Well, there's quite in the play. Yes, she goes down, and the Sharon, the house
visit
manager,
the shoppies.
Yes, one of the characters I play is Sharon, the house manager, who's this I don't know. But anyway, she's very
the cranky caretaker.
Cranky caretaker, exactly. She says sometimes she likes to go down there and she doesn't like to be alone. And he's like, well, what do I do? He says, just act natural. So this character I play, Alex, doesn't actually know a lot about Barbara Streisand. And at the beginning of the play, he says, one of my favorite lines, or not beginning of the play, when he actually gets the job, he goes down there and he's viewing an item from her memorabilia. It's the dress she wore as she sang People in Funny Girl. And he says,
iconic.
He says, I had an appreciation for this stuff as part of he's like, when I first got this job, I was not that big of a Barbara Queen. I had an appreciation for this stuff as part of my gay birthright, my heritage. I felt about Barbara Streisand the way Jews feel about Passover Seder and Barbara Streisand. But in that moment, standing before the people dress, I felt a sort of rapture that could only be described as religious ecstasy. So he becomes upset. He starts learning about her in real time with her. And the play is all about our relationship with the stuff that we have and how it is a reflection of our relationship with people. So it's this really hilarious comedy with some really beautiful things in it that every single performance, it makes me look at my relationship with the stuff around me and with the stuff I keep in my basement. And why I have it there.
And that's interesting that is, as much as it's such an ear-catching, attention-grabbing premise to be in Barbra Streisand's basement playing Shoppy, to actually have it be about these themes that we could all relate to.
It's beautiful.
Of what are we holding on to and how does that define us?
It's materialism about the stuff around us and also like taking people for granted and valuing the other people around us and the value we put in ourselves. And how we demand respect from other people or we don't. It's really just a beautiful piece that I'm so excited to get back to it in Door County to really interact with these people again.
And that's what I was just going to say. So if you're hearing this and you're like, this sounds incredibly like an experience that I want to see. If you missed it at Renaissance Theater Works production at Next Act Theater, this is one of the reasons I got to see you after the show and go, this was such a fun ride and you do a spectacular job at all of these different characters. Can I talk to you before you go? So what are the dates in Door County?
The dates in Door County, it is all the month of June. We close June 22nd. I believe we open June 4th.
I think you're right.
Am I right? Okay.
Yes.
Whoever has Google at home,
I was just going to say,
in.
June 4th through the 22nd at 3rd Avenue Playworks.
I'm good
in
with
Sturgeon
the script,
Bay.
but on the fly, don't give me these things. Yeah, I'm really excited to take it up there. I have worked in Door County a bunch over the past decade, and I'm just so excited for my friends up there that weren't able to see it here, that will be able to see it there. And it's only 2 hours away. Like I know a lot of people in Milwaukee they liked it so much, they had such a good time that they're getting a group of girlfriends together and they're going up there.
A great plan.
I know.
Great reason to get together. It is
Absolutely.
It is such a fun, unique story. I want to ask you some questions about how you can create and keep multiple roles in your head and some other behind the scenes questions of the show Buyer and Seller about being in Barbra Streisand's basement. Actor Doug Clemens is in the studio with me. If you have any questions, Siding Unlimited, WTMJ Talk and Text line 855-616-1620. Stay with us on WTMJ.
At Potawatomi, where ways to win are endless, another chance to capture epic cash and prizes comes Friday, June 27th. It's the season finale blockbuster drawings. Watch your entries from Enchanted Spins, Unreal Treasures, and Boundless Bounty come together for drawings where $300,000 in cash and prizes is there for the taking. Be there to win your share. June 27th only at Potawatomi Casino Hotel, Milwaukee. More info online. Must be 21 years old to play.
Hey there, I'm Sandy Maxx at WTMJ, here to tell you about the incredible career opportunities with my friends at Three Pillars Senior Living Communities in Dousman. They are rated as the top senior living community in Wisconsin again this year by U.S. News and World Report. And it's a certified great place to work, and they are hiring caregivers within their assisted living and their memory care communities, full and part-time day or evening shifts, starting at $20 per hour, and you could get more based on experience and on the shifts. And the best part, you're going to make a difference in the lives of others every day at Three Pillars. If you're interested, go to threepillars.org and click on the Careers tab to learn more.
If you're trying to get through your daily activities and you're noticing you can't because you're focusing more on your pain than being able to enjoy the moment, those are the patients that we're looking to treat because we can make a difference.
That's Dr. Ashley Caravelli, Milwaukee's medical director for QC Kinetics.
What we're doing at QC Kinetics is offering treatments that help with joint preservation. We use cutting-edge technology in our in-house lab to harness your body's natural healing powers and target the areas where you need them the most.
These are regenerative, non-surgical treatments, and QC Kinetics is the nation's leader, delivering lasting relief to tens of thousands of patients.
What we do know is that the sooner we start treatment, the sooner you'll see relief.
So don't wait another minute. See if you're a good candidate for these non-surgical treatments for joint pain. The consultation is completely free.
Weekend appointments available. Call now, 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. 414-285-3474. For
Forget average. At Exterior Pros, they bring the heat. They're not here to meet standards, they're here to smash them. From the first swing of the hammer to the final reveal, they're leveling up your home with every window, every shingle, and every single detail. This isn't just a remodel, it's a glow up for your house. Built tough, built beautiful, built to turn heads. Want in? Let's go. Lock in your project now and save $3,000. Exterior Pros, where bold meets built. Trust the pros and visit extpros.com or call 262-800-4274.
Wisconsin's Morning News is here for you every weekday morning starting at 6 a.m. Vince Petrano.
State of emergency in Mayville, Dodge County, the morning after. Severe weather, including at least one tornado ripped through there.
Eric Billstad.
Mistaken gunshots prompt a heavy police response and frustration in downtown Milwaukee.
And traffic with Debbie Lozica.
We have an accident now, 43 northbound the Rock Freeway.
The news you need to know. Wisconsin's Morning News on WTMJ. What's on Tap with Sandy Maxx is back on WTMJ.
It had to be you.
I love that she plays us in.
Had to be you.
It had to be you.
Had to be you, Sandy.
It had to be you. Actor Doug Clemens is my guest on What's on Tap here on WTMJ because he is the star of the one-person show called Buyer and Seller that was just at Next Act Theater with Renaissance Theater Works production
Theater Works at Next Act. Yeah.
last month, and it's so good. I'm so glad to be able to tell you, you can see it either again or you can catch it in June 4th through the 22nd at 3rd Avenue Playworks in Sturgeon Bay. And so thank you for taking a breath before you go to your Door County retreat and embody this. And so you portray how many characters in this show?
I think our count is 13.
So 13 characters.
There's about 5 main characters that we cycle through.
Wow.
So there's Alex, who's the narrator of the piece, and he's the one that's talking to the audience the whole time. There's past tense Alex. There's Barbara Streisand herself. There is Barry, who is Alex's boyfriend, who is a Barbara Streisand mega fan.
Begrudgingly a bit.
Oh, yes. Well, and that's the thing is as they become closer, they become further apart type of thing. Anyway.
I just want to backtrack and just remind people of, like, if you didn't just hear, this is a story about an actor who works in Barbara Streisand's basement because Barbara Streisand has authentically written a book and designed this
real
old
life
world
shopping mall in her basement.
So thus the oddity, but the interesting part comes in because it's based on fact.
Yeah, the whole play
is book.
It's written in a style that if you catch up with an old friend of yours and he says, "Girl, I have a story for you." So it's the whole thing of me talking directly to the audience of like, you'll never guess what just happened, and all the lessons that I've learned along the way. It's fascinating. So like I said, it's 13 characters throughout the whole thing, which was a behemoth memorization.
I was going to ask you, how is there a tip or a trick? Like, because there are several one-person shows that exist, but how do you do it?
I knew I was going to do it for a year, and as soon as I hung up the phone with Renaissance, I immediately picked up the script and started memorizing. So the thing is, the good thing about a one-person show is that you can always rehearse with a full cast. So the thing that is tricky and that I wanted to do was get all of that script so within my bones that the characters could all be free when they are on stage with each other. So it was always this game of sometimes a line would come out different from one character, so the other character would have to respond with it in a different way. I'm a big color coder when it comes to my script, so each character had their own color.
That makes
so
sense.
I could visually see the script in my head and say, okay, Barry's about to talk for the next 3 pages.
Yeah, and someone can read those lines to you as well. So that way, if you've got that color coded. Absolutely fascinating process. There's so many more questions I could ask you. Thank you for your first visit. I predict you'll
Thanks
be
for
back.
having me. I'm going over to ESPN next.
I think you should, to tell them all about the football knowledge you just dropped on us.
Tell them how to do it.
Actor Doug Clemens, where should we go to find out more about Buyer and Seller and the June run in Sturgeon Bay?
3rdavenueplayworks.org.
And to keep up with you, since you're also working on other opera projects, your website.
Yeah, dougclemens.com. That's Clemens spelled lemons with a C in front of it.
Very good. Thank you so much. I am so glad that you are here. And from Streisand to Shakespeare, that's next on What's on Tap on WTMJ. And now we go to the WTMJ Breaking News Center. Here is Sean Brinda.
Thanks, Sandy. Milwaukee Public Schools is at risk of losing aid again over late financial reports. Department of Public Instruction officials say that MPS had until May 16th to provide information on its 2024 fiscal year auditor aid certification and auditor fund balance, as well as the 2024 fiscal year annual report. Already $16 million in state funding for special education is still being withheld from last year. DPI says if both reports are not delivered by May 30th, more state financial aid will be withheld. And it's been 1 year since Amtrak's Borealis line started, connecting Milwaukee with Chicago and Minneapolis. During that time, the St. Paul to Chicago line has amassed more than 290,000 riders. Amtrak officials report that the surge in riders has gone up by 227% compared to 2023. As of today, the Borealis line serves 600-plus passengers a day. All right, taking a look at your roads with your WTMJ time saver traffic. We got 2 incidents on the road, one at I-43 south of Wisconsin, 145 Fond du Lac Avenue. The right shoulder is blocked due to a disabled vehicle. I'm seeing a semi there, and it should be there for a while. And then looking south of us at I-43 94 south at Beecher and Lincoln, the left lane is blocked due to a crash. I believe that emergency crews are working to get that cleared as well. Other than that, roads are looking pretty clear across all of southeast Wisconsin. All right, taking a look at your WTMJ 5-day forecast. Tonight's going to be cloudy with some light rain. Up to an additional quarter inch of rain is possible with a low of 44 degrees. Tomorrow, though, will be mostly cloudy with a bit of some sprinkles here and there with a high of 54 degrees near the lake and 58 degrees inland. Friday's going to be partly cloudy with a high of 55 degrees near the lake and 60 degrees inland, so a little bit warmer. Leading into Saturday, which will be mostly sunny with a high of 57 degrees near the lake and 63 degrees inland. And then that leads into Sunday, which will be partly cloudy and a little bit warmer with a high of 58 degrees near the lake and 65 degrees inland. Right now in Green Bay, it's currently 51 degrees. In Waukesha, it's currently 47 degrees. And right here in Milwaukee, hey, it's currently 47 degrees as well. I'm Sean Brenda, Outdoor Living Unlimited. WTMJ News Time is 7:33.
We've all experienced that feeling of lacing up a brand new pair of shoes.
And for some reason, it always felt like new shoes made you run faster, jump higher, and of course, look better.
Yeah, it was almost magical.
A brand new set of tires on your car or truck will instantly give you that same magical feeling.
Courtney, I couldn't agree with you more. A new set of treads always makes your vehicle look better, but more importantly, allows you to stop faster and grip the road a whole lot better.
Which is necessary when the weather is bad and driving conditions are poor. You'll appreciate having the extra traction.
Remember, there isn't a tire brand on the planet we can't get.
Everything from Goodyear Continental and Kelly to Dunlop General and Pirelli. If we sell it, we install it.
Plus, every tire we sell automatically comes with free flat tire repair. So be safe, buckle up, and hey, always make sure you've got good tread on your tires. I'm Brett Matchke with Richlands. You're due for service.
Such a refreshing change. Richlands.
The pulse of the Milwaukee Bucks, straight from a Bucks legend.
Can't get it off. Marcus Johnson will, though. Can't leave him alone for a 12.
Tap into Here District with Marcus Johnson on Bucks Plus. Marcus and his son Chris offer a weekly beat on Bucks basketball. Get your questions answered and hear from the biggest names in basketball. Find Here District with Marcus Johnson at bucks.com/plus on the Bucks app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Hey, this is WTMJ Steve Scafidi. Don't miss Capri Community's Enjoy Life Active Aging Symposium on Wednesday, June 4th at Elmbrook Church in Brookfield from 8:30 to 3 p.m. This is a free and fun event for older adults 55 plus that celebrates active aging. Featuring speakers like John McGivern and Jennifer Bartolotta, exhibitors, goat yoga, speed friending, raffles, food, music, and much more. Make the day your own. Pre-register at enjoylifesymposium.com. That's enjoylifesymposium.com.
Save big on your landscaping project at Menards. We're your destination for concrete landscaping blocks. Whether you're installing a patio or adding a new retaining wall, we have the largest in-stock selection ready to take home today. Plus, get free estimates fast using our landscape design program in-store or on Menards.com. Save big on landscape blocks when you shop at Menards. And check out our weekly flyer on Menards.com for all the great deals happening now.
Save big money at Menards.
Welcome back to What's on Tap on WTMJ.
Welcome back to What's on Tap, sponsored by Visit Milwaukee. Handcrafted, homegrown, world-class. Discover more at visitmilwaukee.org. Such a vibrant theater community here of all styles and of all kinds. And as you can hear from that kind of Renaissance fair medieval music, time to talk Shakespeare. And I get to welcome back to the WTMJ studio, Josh Poha from Wisconsin's Classic Stage. Is it Wisconsin Classic Stage?
Wisconsin Classic Stage.
Lovely. Now, you were here in November to talk about a really profound show and very special show called All Is Calm. What is All Is Calm about? Remind everyone.
Well, All Is Calm, the Christmas truce of 1914, is literally about a truce between the British and Germans and a little bit of the French. On one day, they set aside all of their differences, and they crossed into no man's land, and they shared songs, Christmas songs that they recognized. And that's kind of the common language of people who don't know how to speak each other's language is music.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, we did All Is Calm last year with Vanguard Productions, the brainchild of George Lorimer, my friend. And we had a great time doing that. And I hope our audiences came to see it. And I hope you come see it again in December at Calvary Presbyterian Church.
It's very special. About a 12-person cast and is it all a cappella?
It's all a cappella from the beginning to the end. Yeah, no orchestra, and I don't know how these actors do it, but somehow they accomplish it, and it feels like they stop time.
Wow!
So go see that.
That's a snippet in history there. And where will that be again?
Calvary Presbyterian Church in December. Their Vanguard is focusing on those dates. They're focusing on All Is Calm and perhaps a contemporary play. So since I have the church and I run the church, I had to start a side company to do what I love, which is classical theater.
Okay.
And the work that the All Is Calm felt classical, but I love Shakespeare. I love Moliere. I love Racine, not just the city, but the playwright. And it's just, I got to dive into that stuff. And I was teaching my classes Shakespeare, Chekhov, and a lot of my actors who took Shakespeare and Chekhov were like, I'm learning something different that I've learned in college, and you have that je ne sais quoi. You're pulling this thing out of me. Let's put on a play. So I was like, let's do Henry V. Let's do a staged reading with 6 people.
Mm-hmm.
But then everyone's like, JP, you always start with staged readings, but it ends up becoming an event. So I had a great donor who really believed in me and gave me some money as a down payment to put this together. And then it grew to almost 12 actors and my dog Buckley.
Oh, I did notice on the cast list. We're going to get into Henry V. I love this. We call it Henry V. Do we call it Henry V? What do the cool kids call this Shakespeare play?
Tomato. Henry Tomato. No,
just come see it. Yeah.
Henry V, Henry V. Yeah, call it whatever you want. Just come see the show. It's going to be so amazing.
And it's one weekend only. And I love that you said it's going to become an event. And so May 30th, 31st, and June 1st. Downtown,
7
10th
p.m.
in Wisconsin.
The same place as Vanguard Productions, All Is Calm. The Big Red Church, right at 10th in Wisconsin, 935 West Wisconsin. As you said, May 30th, 31st, June 1st at 7 p.m. You get your tickets at wisconsinclassicstage.com or Eventbrite. And I promise that this is going to be one of the most theatrical events. I hate to say this, but maybe in Milwaukee history.
Ooh.
We're going full stop. We got quarter staffs. We got knives. Full fights.
I was saying, hold on, don't give away all of the Give us just a second or two. We're going to take just a couple minutes of a break, and then I do want to hear, because your enthusiasm and passion for classical literature is exciting, and like you said, it's spurred the patron of the arts to help you grow from a stage reading into what is truly going to be immersive. You're just talking about some of the things, and then there's also a chance to dress up that's attached to this 3 days of performance. So stay with me here with Wisconsin Classic Stage's Josh Poha to find out how you can soak yourself in Shakespeare next weekend. Stay with us on What's on Tap on WTMJ.
We understand it's getting harder for you to find new employees. That's why we recommend using broadcast media to our clients to help find them. And you know what? It works. For years, we've used it, and over we fill job fairs and keep a steady new flow of employees for some pretty important clients. Broadcast advertising works for employee recruitment, but with our market leverage, you'll get a lot more for your money than you'll get on your own. Anderson-Smith.com. We help businesses find new employees.
Anybody out there like political ads? I already know your answer, and it's because a lot of them are bad. Phony dialogue with the sound effects of a diner in the background, dramatic voiceovers with scary music that changes into happy, hopeful music when the candidate being pushed is described. Whatever happened to an honest pitch from a candidate that doesn't sound like they're reading, but rather expressing their genuine passion to bring about change? Use us and we'll drive that home, and voters will believe you. Anderson-Smith.com. We will help you win in the next election.
Over 60 years in business, with over 60 vehicles out in the field so we can respond ultra quickly to your emergency AC needs. When you call Quality for emergency AC service, you can count on a swift response to get the job done right away. So if the heat's got you to the point where it's just too hot to handle, call Quality and we'll get you the signature service you deserve.
Call Quality for the signature service you deserve.
Call Quality. Heating, cooling, plumbing, and electric. When you need commercial or residential plumbing service, you need it now. Call Quality. We have over a 60-year track record of taking care of people. And with over 60 vehicles ready to respond to your needs, we'll be there in a hurry, so you won't have to worry. This is Anthony Zaneski. For commercial or residential plumbing service, call Quality and get the signature service you deserve.
Call Quality for the signature service you deserve.
Call Quality. Heating, cooling, plumbing, and electric.
Hey, Milwaukee, the sale you've been waiting for is finally here. WTMJ's John Mercure here telling you that Kohl's is offering huge limited-time savings on furniture, appliances, and mattresses during their Memorial Day weekend sale. Right now, Kohl's takes 60% off, plus an extra 10% off furniture and mattresses. That's right, 60 plus 10 on sofas, sectionals, dining sets, outdoor furniture. I just shopped at Kohl's. Stack these two incredible discounts and save on everything you need to get your home ready for summer. Kohl's also offering exclusive Memorial Day prices on appliances. Take an extra 5% off their already unbeatable deals on all your favorite brands like Samsung, LG, KitchenAid, Whirlpool, etc. Kohl's has been trusted by the Milwaukee community for over 83 years for 3 reasons. Better selection, better experience, best value guaranteed. Shop the Memorial Day weekend sale in-store at one of their 4 locations. With extra 10% off regular and clearance furniture and mattresses, 5% off regular appliances, in-store and online from May 16th through May 26th.
Step up to quality furniture. Get more for your money at Kohl's.
You're listening to What's on Tap with Sandy Maxx on WTMJ.
I feel like we should be dancing around a maypole. Get me my stuffy collar. Get me my tights and my bloomers. Wisconsin Classic Stage's Josh Poha is in the studio with me because you're doing an immersive and exciting production next weekend, the 30th, 31st, and June 1st, of William Shakespeare's Henry V. And what is it about that play in particular that excites you to bring it to this eventized level that we'll talk about just how many bells and whistles and experiences you can have with Henry V?
Well, I guess it's the one that everyone's afraid of. And I was told by my teacher to always go in the direction of my fear. And it is big, it's bold, it's everything. And it's about a leader.
I say, what's scary about it?
Yeah, what's scary about it is that, Olivier did it, Brandon did it, all the big directors take it on. And am I ready to do it? And the answer is yes, because I just saw the first run and it is gorgeous. It is nonstop action, textual clarity. So when you go see a Shakespeare and you don't understand it, it is not your fault, audience. It is the director's fault. It is the actor's fault. It is the production company. Because, they're speaking English, Sandy, right? So we should be able to understand it. So my focus with this company... And
there are a lot of universal themes.
Exactly.
That you can resonate with. So your goal with Wisconsin Classic Stage?
Yeah, is to create textual clarity and maybe be the bridge to American Players Theater or Door County Shakespeare so they can, people who are afraid of Shakespeare can test out the waters with Wisconsin Classic Stage and go, hey, I understood that. And that was that was darn fun to listen to. And so then they'll be like, hey, let's drive 2 hours to Spring Green and see the work of American Players Theater or Door County Shakespeare. And, I've seen a lot of plays done at these corporate theaters, and they're absolutely unimpactful. And they leave me wanting more, and they make me feel like Shakespeare took a giant step back. And I think we need 464 years later, we should be somewhere further along with challenging our audiences with Shakespeare, with speaking it correctly and making a lot of differentiation so audiences have fun listening to the colors of the music of the sound of the poetry. And I come from a really great background at Los Angeles County High School for the Arts and Carnegie Mellon University, and I had the best teachers in probably the world. So it is my responsibility to bring that to not only my students myself, but Wisconsin audiences.
Well, I would tell you, when you talk about bringing it to life, and it's the actors and the directors, the recent production that the Rep did of Romeo and Juliet, infusing music, and it's a comedy until it isn't, is kind of the phrase where it's like, oh, because it's the fellas joshing around and talking about cute girls. And you, even if you don't know the these and the thous, like, oh, you can literally roll with that flow, and you're not left out if the text is presented in an engaging way. So it sounds like even in your table read, you excited people. So how do you go from, okay, 6 actors probably in T-shirt and jeans reading to each other and still getting excited by the text, to now what you have in store next weekend? Because you mentioned 12 actors, and I'm telling you, a little mini Renaissance fair caught my eye. So tell me what you have in store for next weekend.
I would love
at
to.
the Big Red Church.
I know you've been holding me back. I wanted to tell you about this till this segment.
Yay!
But so I have great teachers, as I've told you before, but one of the things my teachers told me is the play begins when the audience walks in the room. And the purpose of a play is to create community, as is the church, as is going to a Bucks game, right? But when you go into the theater, when you go into church, you go into a Bucks game, it's so easy to talk to other people. But for some reason, when we go into the theater, we tend to stay reserved, look at our phone, look at the program. But when you walk into this theater for Henry V, there's going to be a mini Renaissance fair with like a coronation station. Oh! There's a section for a peasant meal.
Hold on. A coronation station. How do I get my crown? What's going on at the coronation station?
Well, the goal is to get people to advertise for Wisconsin Classic Stage while having fun. So if they're taking selfies with crowns on, with some interesting product placement.
An ermine cape?
Yeah, and then they're going to post it on Instagram, and then they're going to have fun.
And make a memory.
And the people in line waiting next are going to say, who are you? Who are you? So the goal with the Shakespeare is to how much can I keep their phones out of their hands beside a selfie? I want community to happen.
What
that's
else?
The point of theater.
I love that point, though, because you're right. I'm thinking in any lobby of a theater, and I'm in several, I'm not nodding and going, hey, you're a fellow arts lover. Like I am just like, oh, okay, going to hang out with the person I came with. I'm going to go sit in my seat and maybe nod, have a little chat with the people in the seats next to me, but it's not as communal as you're saying, and it is a live moment. Okay, so At the mini Renaissance fair, because you caught me with Coronation Station, because this girl loves a tiara and a crown. So, you caught me at that. What other activities are at the mini Renaissance fair as soon as you walk into Henry V?
Okay, well, I wasn't going to tell everyone, but I will tell you, Sandy, and I hope you don't tell any one of your audience members. But when you come in, there will also be a station where there's like a portrait caricature artist where they draw your picture.
Yeah.
But the trick is the artist has no idea how to draw. So you're going to sit there and get a caricature artist, and we'll see what the artist comes up with. There's going to be that. There's going to be
capturing
a section.
your essence.
Yeah, there's going to be a section to meet my dog Buckley, who is co-starring in Henry V. There's going to be a section about Henry V, so we learn about Salic law. So people who come watch the play understand what the conflict is, rather than as soon as the play starts, they're lost. I want them to walk in and allow curiosity to nurture itself with the fun, and then, over here, there's some information on it. Oh, now back to the fun, but now I know a seed is planted, so I can kind of understand how Act 1 works. And another thing, Sandy, we don't open up with Henry V. We open up with Henry IV, Part 1 and 2. Little bits, because there's the Battle of Shrewsbury at the end of Henry IV, Part 1, part 2 with Hal and Hotspur. So we open up with a battle, like you're watching Star Wars. So the original play
There you
opens up,
go.
where they're talking about some obscure law, but in my play, we're opened up with a war, a full-on battle with quarterstaffs and knives. Then we go into Henry V after he's coronated, so we know what he's fighting for.
To give that backstory, sure. It's the prequel.
Exactly.
That's how we'll look at it. The
It's like
prequel.
previously on.
He is the Wisconsin Classic Stage founder, Josh Poha. More about Henry V and any questions you have on the Sighting Unlimited WTMJ Talk and Text line, 855-616-1620. I want to ask you about some of the actors and performers who will be on stage next weekend at the Big Red Church. Stay with us on What's on Tap.
Frontalmax vexillando.
Ben.
Nargolento zipidorium.
Ben.
Yes, Nicole?
Do I have to ask?
Why am I wearing a wizard's cape?
Yes.
Because of the Brooklyn Cabinet.
The Brooklyn Cabinet?
Have you heard of it?
Of course. It's the most configurable piece in Penny Mustard's history.
Configurabilis Maximus.
But what's with the wizard getup?
The Brooklyn Cabinet looks like something you'd see in the hallowed halls of a faraway magical campus.
That curved top is pretty enchanting.
And with all the configurable options, you get to work your personal magic.
Cabinenta implortum.
Wait, what are you waving?
My magic wand, Arvid.
That's a beef stick.
Hey, even wizards get hungry.
Right.
Snackius summinoso.
Come see the bewitching Brooklyn Cabinet. American-made with locally sourced lumber and built to last for generations. Starting at $43.78 at Penny Mustard.
Showrooms in Milwaukee and Chicago.
PennyMustard.com.
Penny Mustard Furnishing.
Hey, WTMJ's John Merck here. The paint on the outside of your house is the first impression that people have. CertaPro painters painted our house and did great. They moved the planters around. They moved the grill out of the way. The little things are important to CertaPro painters, and they always get it right. Schedule the outside of your house to be done. A free estimate at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C for your home or your business. The details matter to CertaPro painters. They do it right the first time. They clean up after themselves. They leave your property better than it ever was. Each CertaPro painter is independently owned and operated.
I've had a number of surgeries, and frankly, I don't have time to rehab a surgery and an operation at this point in my life. I didn't want to take time off my kids' activities.
That's why former college and pro football player Bobby Carpenter turned to QC Kinetics. We couldn't be happier saving our patients like him from operating rooms and long recoveries.
I've been able to resume like normal activity for me, which is a lot of running. It's a lot of workouts. I've been very, very blessed with how it's been able to hold up.
For so long, patients have accepted surgery as the only solution. But with new technologies, the medical professionals at QC Kinetics use regenerative treatments, your body's own biologics, to help heal and restore knees, hips, shoulders, and backs.
I actually ran into a friend of mine over at our golf course, and he had his knee done. It felt so well. He'd got his shoulder done. He goes, I can't thank you enough. He'd heard the commercial on the air, and so it's feeling great.
Find out how you can avoid surgery and finally get relief. Call QC Kinetics now for your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. 414-285-3474.
Steel walk behind, zero turn, and stand on mowers are built to get the job done. Shop online or at your local Steel dealer. Steel. Let's go mow.
This is What's on Tap with Sandy Maxx.
Excited to share with you a Shakespeare performance that is not just stuffy. I have with me in the studio Josh Poha, the new founder of Wisconsin Classic Stage, really passionate about bringing this classic literature to life. So Henry V, and Josh, I just love that you have kicked it up a notch. So May 30th, 31st, and June 1st at the Big Red Church there, 10th in Wisconsin. The pre-show immersive Renaissance Fair, 90 minutes before curtain. So get there early. You got a ticket. You can have fun. You can kind of do arts and crafts. You can get your photo, get in your crown, but also food. St. Crispian's Chili Cook-Off. A tasty pre-battle challenge. It's going to smell good as soon as you walk in there. And you talk about community, like that warmth, sharing food. Like it's so fun together. So thank you for creating this very fun, I would call it Shakespeare event. It's more than just Henry V. But share with us, you were talking about going from a table read of 6 people to now a cast of 12 and full battle and combat choreography. Like this must be exciting for you to see it evolve and come to life like this.
Yeah, I don't want to age myself, but I have been dreaming of this since 98. 1998. And
a little over 25
yeah,
years,
a
sure.
friend of mine at Carnegie Mellon, we wanted to do an all-female version of Henry V. But, you know, when you're in school for acting, especially a program that discipline and that arduous, there was no time. But we have talked through it through the years.
Which is so funny because it used to be all male for
Exactly.
Shakespeare. So I'll just flip it right there on its head.
Yeah, and we did flip it on its head about, I guess, 25 years later, because now I'm doing it, but we're approaching it as if, okay, so Henry V is basically about a law called Salic law. And if you're coming to see Henry V, this is the only thing you need to know. And Salic law says no female born can take the French crown. But our Henry V identifies as transmasculine. So they are going to assert their identity and say, I am going to take the crown. And it's not just about gender or identity. It's about all these other straight cis men, for lack of a better term, supporting Henry, because not only is Henry saying they should be the leader, but they are the pure leader that they believe in. Our artist named Kylie Azur Green is playing Henry V, a brilliant Chicago actor, came up here, you know, to do this, and it is bringing just the most incredible performance to the stage, and you gotta see Kylie as Henry.
I was saying, to see this come together after 25 years, I'm thrilled. I can hear the excitement in your voice. And could you please mention the other cast member that's connected to you?
Buckley Poya, my dog Buckley, has a starring role in the play and is part of the heart of the play. And I won't tell you what happens, but he's not in it just because of nepotism. He's in it because there's a special moment that he's needed that really brings the theme together.
Henry V with a Hound. Where do we get tickets?
WisconsinClassicStage.com. There's a link to Eventbrite. It opens May 30th. Tickets are selling.
Good.
Opening night is almost sold out. So if you need your tickets, get them today, tomorrow, or the next day.
Thank you so much. He is Josh Poya of Wisconsin Classic Stage. Everyone break a leg to the cast and crew. And thank you for listening to What's on Tap, sponsored by Visit Milwaukee.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee. From the